Zinedine Zidane is one of the greatest footballing personalities that ever saw the pitch. He made history both as a player and as a manager, winning everything in his path, impressing with his elegance. But how did he become so good? This is Goal Side, and welcome back. Today, we're talking about Zinedine Zidane. He was born in the south of France in the suburbs of Marseille. His parents were actually immigrants from Algeria, so Zinedine and his family are all Muslims. This tells us that Zidane was born in diversity, having been Muslim in France, just like having two countries he considers as his own. I have an affinity with the Arabic world. I have it in my blood via my parents. I'm very proud of being French, but also very proud of having these roots and this diversity. Zidane's idols growing up were also diversified: Blas Liskovic from Bosnia and Herzegovina and Diego Maradona from Argentina. But they both had one thing in common: their technique was out of this world. Zidane always knew where he was coming from too. He started playing professionally for Cannes, but often found himself in a lot of trouble due to attacking anyone who would mock him for his ghetto or religion origins. However, his talent was too big to fail. With time, Zinedine learned how to channel his inner anger and take it all out on the pitch, where he was beauty personified. He was tall but moved the ball so well that you'd think he's Maradona size. Zidane's shot was commonly unstoppable and his volleys are engraved in history. So, Zidane carved his way through to the top, playing in France before moving to Juventus. This is where Florentino Perez noticed him first. So, when the businessman in love with Real Madrid assembled Galacticos, Zinedine Zidane's number was first on the list. There was no doubt Zidane moved to Real Madrid, winning the Champions League in his first season by scoring a match-winning goal that remains one of, if not the most beautiful Champions League finals goals ever. He would go on to become a legend for Real Madrid by entertaining the Santiago Bernabeu crowd week in and week out during his stint with Los Blancos. Throughout the years, it was easy to recognize Zidane because of the king of the club, David Beckham. Ronaldo Nazario, Luis Figo, all of them were football superstars, but none had the charisma and the ability to rally people around him like Zinedine Zidane did. So when those megastars accepted Zidane as a leader, you'd really think there's something special about the Frenchman of Algerian descent. Teammates praised Zidane not only for his amazing footballing skills, which were obvious to anyone, but also for his leadership off the pitch. It's no coincidence that Zidane led Real Madrid to the Champions League and France to the Euro Championship in 1998 held in France. Nobody would mock his origins after that. Well, nobody except Marco Materazzi. The notorious Italian was a part of the Italy national team for the World Cup 2006 in Germany. France and Italy met in the final after one of the best displays ever by Zinedine Zidane, who basically knocked out the Brazilian Dream Team all by himself, putting in a vintage performance for the ages. But when Italy arrived, it was all but easy for Zidane in France. The match went into overtime after a goalless 90 minutes. Toward the end of the extra time, Materazzi mocked Zidane's family and his religion. Zidane went mad. He headbutted Materazzi, earning himself a direct red card. A young boy in him flared up, causing him to lose out on the World Cup trophy, as an image of Zidane walking past the trophy after getting the red card remains one of the most iconic in footballing history. That was also Zidane's last match ever. It's incredible, really, how many players do retire while they're still playing at the highest level. He's just played a wonderful World Cup, leading France all the way to the final. But Zidane was like no other and retired on the spot. He even quit Real Madrid, not because the club wanted to sell him, but because Zidane thought he himself was the one to blame for the club's poor results at the time, and he didn't want to hold Real Madrid back. Now, 13 years after the event, Zidane is a different man. Still a leader like no other, Zidane doesn't have his bad moments of temper. Immediately after taking over at Real Madrid, Zidane led his team to the Champions League glory as the manager. Not once, not twice, but 3 consecutive times. Then, he resigned, saying that he can't go on with the team and that the squad needs refreshing. He left everyone stunned, including his biggest fan, Florentino Perez. What was going on in Zidane's mind? Everybody wanted to know. However, when Real Madrid was in crisis again, just a little under a year after Zidane resigned, the Frenchman was there to save the day once again. Full of loyalty and pride, Real Madrid knew they could always count on their hero. It's hard to understand Zidane's way of thinking because of the fact that he's so unique and different, yet so ordinary and normal. Zidane is a calm personality with a leadership character able to rise his team toward the top. However, he's also a tempered bomb, just like any one of us, and he can go off at any moment. Right now, Zinedine Zidane is doing his magic yet again. He steadied the ship of Real Madrid, and Los Blancos are in contention for La Liga and the Champions League again, the first time since his departure back in 2018. Zinedine Zidane's mind is complicated, too complicated to analyze completely, but it's also unique and full of good intentions and leadership, traits that no player before or after him could repeat to that measure. So, we hope to see Zidane doing his wonders with Madrid for a long, long time.